Here are 4 things that I believe that everybody needs to know and everybody needs to practice. These are things that you probably heard before, but if you actually apply these things to your life, you will realize that you have a better quality of life. The first one is to own your mess and own your mistakes. We are all humans and we make mistakes. There's not one person on the face of this earth that hasn't made a mistake. Mistakes are not necessarily bad. They are there as a lamppost or a guide on what not to do. If you notice, when you make a mistake, and especially a mistake that costs you, you will realize that if you're going down the same path, you will remember, oh, it was around this area that I effed up, and I am not doing that. Mistakes help us to learn. They help us to grow. They help us to be better people, better human beings, better at our craft. They make us better in many ways. The most successful men, smartest men, most creative people in the world are people who've made a lot of mistakes. So mistakes are not necessarily bad. They only become a problem when you ignore it or don't address it or pretend like it's not there. Because when you pretend like you didn't make a mistake or you didn't create a mess, you will not be able to learn the lesson that you need to learn from that mess, and you're not going to grow. So own your mess, own your mistakes. That's how we grow and that's how we become better people. Lesson number 2, learn to say no. You know, it's some people find it easier to say yes. You know, that's why they coined the term yes men, because there's some people who everything that you ask them, they say yes, even if they don't want to do it, but because they don't like to hurt people's feelings, they're just gonna say yes. But then it comes to a point where you have used up all your energy, all your capacity, you've given everything that you can, and there's nothing left for you. And you're frustrated, you're beaten down, you're not happy. A lot of things are just not the way that you want to because you've overexhausted yourself trying to help other people. That there's nothing left for you, there's nothing left for your loved ones. So it's okay to say no. People are going to like you if you say yes, and people are going to like you if you say no. People are going to complain if you say yes all the time, and people are going to complain if you say no all the time. You can't please everybody. So do what makes you happy. If what makes you happy is saying yes in the moment and you know that you're able to help that person, then by all means say yes and help them as best as you can. But if what you feel like saying is no, and you're really saying that no because you really cannot help, say no and say it proudly and be comfortable in that no. Because at the end of the day, everybody's gonna put themselves first. And a lot of times you'll be breaking your back for people who will not do the same for you. And then what happens is that you become frustrated because you're always helping other people. But in this life, the sooner you learn that it's everybody for themselves, and I don't mean it like in a selfish way. I mean to say that you have to look out for yourself first, because nobody is waking up in the morning thinking about you first. Thinking about like, oh, let me pay her bills first before I pay my bills. Or let me do this for her first. But no, everybody put themselves first. So learn to put yourself first and learn to say no sometimes. Lesson number 3, what you want isn't always what you need. And what you need doesn't always look like what you think it's going to be. That's why it's important in life to always be open-minded. I am someone that I'm a very quiet, introverted, like to be by myself type person. And my least favorite type of people are people who talk too much, or those loud people. Like you walk into the room and you only hear them, like you can spot them across the room because of how loud they are. And they always want to talk to you. Like it's like those are like my least favorite type of people because they force me to socialize. I just don't like people like that. And there've been many occasions in my life where I've met people who talk too much. Like they're literally standing on the table, like, you know, making noise, entertaining the crowd. And I'm just like, I will never be friends with someone like that. And those people turned out to be my closest friends. And they will stand by me through some of the craziest things I've ever been through. And like people that I looked at and go, oh, I like her, I want to be her friend, turned out to be some of the like worst friends I've ever had, or like people who just never liked me or never gave me a chance. But then the people that I was like, I cannot be friends with her, are the people who ended up being like the bestest friends I've ever had. So what you want isn't always what you need, and what you need doesn't always look like what you expect, and it doesn't always come in the package that you expect it to come in. So be open-minded with what God brings your way, with what life brings your way. And lesson number 4, you are who you are, and who you are is who God created you to be. Too many times people don't like who they are. They want to change themselves. They wish they could be somebody else. They wish that they could be this and that. I remember when I was 19 years old, I'm just someone who's very like blunt. I have a strong personality. I'm very strong-minded. I'm very opinionated, blunt. Even though like now like this, I've learned to really like control like the way that I say things. But when I was younger, oh man, I just say whatever I want, hurting people's feelings left and right. I didn't mean to, you know, like when you're still maturing, you know, you have to learn how to go about life and manage your personality. And so a lot of people didn't like me because I was so blunt. Like I was always that person who would tell you exactly what you're thinking. So I didn't have a lot of friends, and I know that people didn't like me. But at 19 years old, somebody told me something. Somebody gave me a word, and they said that God is going to bring people in your life who are going to love you for who you are. And it's such a simple statement, but that statement changed my life. Because as my life has progressed, I have realized that no matter how crazy I am or how crazy I can be, there are people who just like look at me and just are crazy about me. You know, people, you know, there's some people who will just be like, ugh, like what she did, I don't, and then some people be like, oh my God, that was so good, I enjoyed that so much. So I realized that like, you can be like a people pleaser and you can be what people want to be, people are still not gonna like you. You can be yourself, people are still not gonna like you. So why not just choose to be who God created you to be? Be yourself. There are people that God has created that will love you no matter what you do, no matter what season of your life. You will always have people who are going to love you and accept you. And let me tell you, when you are who you're supposed to be, life is easier, life is better, life is sweeter. Like I'm just at a point in my life where I'm like, I don't know how to be anybody else but me. I love me. A lot of people don't like me, but I'm okay with that. You know, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm fine with that. And everybody's not my cup of tea. But I cannot be who God created me to be and fulfill my destiny and my purpose in life if I'm someone else. Because my destiny is attached to my personality. When I change my personality, I am altering the course of my life, the path that God has put me on. So do not change who you are. You are who you are. Stop making excuses for who you are. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm so quiet. I'm sorry, I talk too much. I'm sorry, I'm always cracking jokes. Stop apologizing for who you are. The right people are not going to mind. There are people out there who are looking for someone like you. Stop apologizing for something that you don't have control over. Stop apologizing for something that you cannot change. And stop apologizing for something you don't need to apologize. How dare you apologize for who you are? There's some things that we say, it's psychological. Someone may not be offended by something that you said, and then you say, I'm sorry. And in your mind, your brain registers, oh, an apology was offered. It means that she did something wrong. And then they start looking at you some type of way. But had you just never opened your mouth, they probably like wouldn't care. Stop apologizing for who you are. Stop saying sorry. There's a niche of people who are looking for who you are, for what you have, and will love you just the way that you are. Anyway, that's all I have for today. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share this video with all your friends, and I'll see you in my next video.